was a hot summer. Mike the Butterbottom, also known as Scrumpy Doodle, also known as Scrump, was going on his favorite holiday as usual, being one of those rich posh scrubs, traveling to his favorite Swedish skiing resort because he absolutely hated the heat. He did so every summer, though being 21-year-old and forcefully married, his parents absolutely hated his guts. And they wanted a break from him, because he was a freeloading pig. But Scrump never cared. This was his chance to beat Felix in a who can go fastest down a very steep hill contest. Yes, Felix, the coolest 7-year-old in Sweden. A very normal kid, but he was blessed by the Swedish gods for being Swedish, and given the power of the showing off. Felix has stolen 5 girls' hearts this year with his supreme CSGO skills and snowboarding. With, of course, flexing with the world's most menacing face. Now it would be kind of weird for a 21-year-old to rival stalk a little boy, but this is supposed to be a survival story, so I'll stop with the Sweden stereotypes. Scrump usually went on a fancy private cruise ship that looked like it was made in the 1820s with access to every single room. Because he owned the ship. Anyways, 5 days into the journey, Scrump's stupid deceased skeleton brother appeared out of nowhere.
I'm gonna kick your ass.
Turned the entire crew into minor skeletons, and broke the entire boat because he wanted Scrump's body so he could live for all eternity. And now that the plot is gone, I can finally start the guide and do the most annoying part of making one of these, and that is putting in the title. All of my titles suck and it makes my video get viewed less. Scrump is now stuck in a survival scenario, the well-known Ocean Prison Island survival. But don't he worry, I will guide him to success. The first thing to do in an island scenario is to walk around the island to make sure it's actually an island and not land. You can also get high enough
Smoke
to
weed
scout. No drug jokes allowed here. Apologies. But unfortunately, Scrumpy was put in a very tiny island. He could literally see beach everywhere. That doesn't matter, you can always migrate, a thing every bird, large fish, Minecraft player and human has done when they don't like their old home anymore. And good for you, there is another island right over there, a slightly bigger one. Yay? Now, this is day 1 of your very fun island isolation journey. Which means this is going to be the only day when you are healthy. You'd better make this worth it. When it comes to survival, water is annoying. Without water, you will only last about 2 or 3 days. Think of this as one of those jigsaw tests. To survive a jigsaw test, you have to prove that you actually want to live by doing whatever it means to survive. And I see. There are literally no resources to craft a water still. So here, have a shipment of rocks and sticks. As well as a manual explaining on how to make a water still. Written by yours truly, Felix. Keep in mind that I stole it. What's this? You don't want to make it? You want me to make it for you? Felix is able to make one of these in 4 minutes with his bare hands. You can do better. Have a handkerchief. bleeding hands, a strong competitive will and a stolen manual made by a furniture expert, the king of this island has extended his survivability by a few days. He has crafted the legendary water still. Being the smart guide, I'm no scientist and I will be researching nothing because I'm lazy. You collect salt water and pour it onto the cloth, a filter. Let our holy god, the sun, say its magic words.
Just do it!
And the water will be purified and made holy, having the salt removed and it drips into the container. Also, plants. You are going to have to refill the contraption with salt water and leaves. Don't forget to thank God for the treat. Of course, God being generally good, the sun can be a deadly laser in these islands and you will suffer from sunstroke by being under it for too long. If you flip the page on Felix's manual, it will show instructions on making a shelter. Keep in mind that he is better than new if you don't build it. Good grief, you are faster at building than the people in LEGO advertisements. But you won't be able to build so fast without food. Starving is annoying and constantly bugs you. Humans were made to eat every day. And yes, you can adapt to starvation, but too much hunger will make you an animal. Vegetarians recommend coconuts for the healthiest outcome. Keep in mind that coconuts are edible, and will give you severe diarrhea due to malnutrition. Keep coconuts to 1 per day. For the healthiest outcome, but you'll be healthier without coconuts. Vegetarians aren't stupid, they are pretty smart, but the loudest ones are stupid. Unless they are smart. Sharks are a must-have on this island's menu. They are the most vicious predator of the 7 seas, but keep in mind that humans are more vicious than sharks. You are going to have to craft a spear. You will need a sharp blade to do so. A rock can do, just rub it onto a bigger rock and hope that science made that type of rock the most ideal rock to be sharpened. Use the sharpened rock to sharpen the stick. A tough, long, thin and sturdy stick will do the job. Sharpening the rock will take half an hour, and sharpening the stick will take 10-30 minutes depending on how much the rock is sharpened. You made a spear, a human classic when it comes to weaponry, can be endlessly modded as well as providing a great ranged weapon once you learn to throw it. To use it, get into the water and stab whatever fish passes by your feet. The feet that creeps try and get pictures of because it's funny. Now, we are supposed to be hunting sharks, but we need blood because, sharks like blood. I'm not describing on how to butcher because there are no add-ons in this game that advance. Scrump, plunge the stone tool into the fish and it will turn into meat and blood. This isn't forest survival, so we don't need a campfire. Just place the meat underneath the deadly lasers of the sun and praise it. And will you look at that? There's a shark right over there. Sharks are generally small, so you can wrestle it onto land. You can attract the shark with the blood because video game logic says so. The moment when it's near land inspecting the blood, you grab its tail and yeet it into land, beating the crap out of it until it dies. Yes, I know it's illegal and animal abuse. But this is your land now, and anything a kilometer around the island is yours. But not the marine life because they are allowed to defend themselves. Fine, you can just hunt fish and eat coconut all day. But I assure you that sharks are a must-eat. Anyways, your food is done. And congratulations, you survived your first day. The reason why the sun isn't setting is that it's the middle of summer and daylight hours are extended. The sun will rise and set at exactly 5 in the morning. And tiredness doesn't exist in survival games. You will survive like this every day until you get rescued. Unfortunately, this game is early access and the ending hasn't been made yet. You will have to wait 5 months, and endure 2 bug fix updates that will cause nothing but negativity to your survival experience. You have the option to escape yourself by making a raft and sailing. But the shark you refused to kill is now big and is patrolling the current area, killing every single fish. This is your fault, Scrumpy Doodle. Two weeks has passed, and our stupid example of a survivor has somewhat survived. He scratched a face on a coconut, the last coconut, and thinks that coconut is his first wife who, spoiler alert, is cheating on Scrump with Felix. The shark is now the size of a blue whale and there's a shortage on everything. Scrump is now a stick, because he followed the vegetarian's orders. He has been poisoned because he stepped on a spiky sea star, and has a foot in the grave. He hasn't laid down yet to accept his fate, however. Because he has hope, he is planning to survive more days than Felix can even imagine. But wait. What's that? A misunderstanding caused the early access game to get an ending. It's a ship. And it's heading this way. The British has realized that there's unconquered land and are sailing towards it to start a tea company. No, it's Felix. He is proving to his many cousins that he can find unconquered land. Well, will you look at that? Felix's kind soul has let you aboard his fancy boat. Our hero has survived 15 days on his private island. With the help of God, he was able to survive the wrath of God. And I managed to make a guide. And now to start my next guide. How to properly survive your own jealousy. And after that, how to properly survive the realization that your first wife is cheating on you with a 7-year-old. But before that, I have to research on how to make proper credits for a movie made by only one person, as well as protecting your innocence by saying that you own nothing in the video so YouTube loves you.